So I'm from Warrensburg, Missouri. It's kind of a smallish university town about an hour southeast of the Kansas City area. And I went to school at Mizzou in Columbia. And I studied abroad while I was there and lived in London for a little bit and worked there at a .com company, which was a lot of fun. And then I moved to the Kansas City area, and now I live downtown in one of those tall high-rises in downtown Kansas City. I really like the hustle and bustle of living right in downtown. So I'm a crime analyst, and a lot of people don't really know what that is, so I often describe myself as the nerd behind the detective, or we actually have two analysts here, so I'm one of two nerds behind the detective, helping with casework for the most part, running people's criminal histories and different background information in different law enforcement databases. We create suspect lineups when necessary for cases, or bulletins for like be on the lookout, attempt to locate, those kind of things when we need to, as well as looking at crime data like our calls for service and our incident data to see how things have changed over time and different things like that. Gosh, I've done kind of a wide variety of jobs. Most of the things that I've done in my career have been in the marketing and communications area. So after I graduated from journalism school, I stayed in Columbia, Missouri, and I worked for a radio station. That was my first full-time job out of college. And I was a morning show producer and co-host for a top 40 radio station. And I did that for a year, and that was about all I could handle because it was crazy and it was a lot of fun, but I'm also not a morning person. And so being at work by like 5:30 in the morning to get things started was not really for me long term, but it was great. I did everything from judging an Elvis impersonation contest to being hypnotized on air by a comic hypnotist and all kinds of crazy stuff. So that was a lot of fun. After that, I moved to Kansas City and I worked at an advertising agency. I then worked in marketing for an engineering firm for a while, and while I was there, I realized that the private sector wasn't really for me long term, that I thought I wanted to do something that kind of meant a little bit more to me. And so to transition to public service, I went back to school and I got my master's in public administration with an emphasis in nonprofit management. And found my way into the nonprofit sector, managed social media for a nonprofit and for the county. So I went to work for Johnson County government about 5 years ago, and then transitioned to the sheriff's office about 3 years ago. I love my job. I am so lucky to work here. I love the fact that I feel like my work is meaningful and it matters. Helping to create a safer community is really important. It's also very interesting work, which is important to me. I've learned throughout my career. And then lastly, the people that I work with are outstanding. They're trustworthy, they're kind, and they're a lot of fun to work with. So something that not everyone knows about me is that I absolutely love live stand-up comedy. It's like one of my favorite things. And I've seen everybody from Bobcat Goldthwait to Damon Wayans to Adam Sandler 3 times, Louis Black 2 or 3 times, Jim Gaffigan twice. He's probably my #1 right now. Daniel Tosh. I mean, the list goes on and on. So I love live stand-up comedy. I think laughter truly is the best medicine, and it's something that we all need a little bit more of right now. As far as a dream destination for traveling, Australia is really high on my list. I just went to Sweden about a year ago, and that was amazing and wasn't really on my list at all. So to love somewhere that wasn't even kind of on my radar made me think, oh my gosh, there's a million places to go. I'm Amanda Schulte, and I am the Johnson County Sheriff's Office.